Russia launched a major offensive against Ukraine. Tanks and APCs advancing with confidence. But FPV drones, javelins, mines, HIMARS, and precision artillery quickly turned the assault into a disaster. What happens when an armored unit charges Ukrainian positions and falls straight into an ambush? We've gathered the footage along with detailed insights into the operation. Don't forget to subscribe. This is going to be interesting. A group of Russian tanks and armored personnel carriers formed a convoy to attack Ukraine. The convoy consisted of 7 vehicles, 3 tanks, and 4 APCs. After advancing for a while, they regrouped in an abandoned settlement. Ukrainian forces were prepared and watching the Russian convoy closely. As one tank moved forward, it was struck by a javelin missile fired by Ukrainian troops. Despite this, Russian forces continued to push forward. Soon after, Ukrainian forces fired a second javelin missile, which hit its target with pinpoint accuracy, causing a massive explosion. Ukrainian forces weren't done yet. A third javelin missile was fired, hitting its target again and destroying the tank. One of the Russian APCs witnessing these strikes attempted to escape. However, Ukrainian forces fired an RPG before it could get away. After the attacks, one remaining Russian tank tried to retreat while firing back at Ukrainian positions. Ukrainian troops immediately counterattacked. The explosion was significant, leaving the tank unable to withstand another strike. Not far from this tank, another previously hit Russian tank exploded, creating a massive blast. The intensity of the explosion was evident, with a huge fireball and shrapnel scattered around. Thinking they had escaped the assault, a Russian APC moved towards a wooded area. It stopped to deploy Russian infantry. The infantry launched an attack, and Ukrainian forces prepared to neutralize them. Meanwhile, the Russian APC began to retreat, but before it could escape, Ukrainian troops successfully destroyed it. The APC was completely blown apart. Now, Russian forces are attempting to strike back with over 100 armored vehicles, aiming to break through Ukrainian defenses from multiple directions. Will this Russian assault succeed? Let's analyze it further. Ukrainian forces used fragmentation munitions to score a direct hit and destroy a Russian tank. Next, a Russian APC was sent forward for reconnaissance, but it was immediately targeted and disabled by Ukrainian forces. At the same time, Ukrainian artillery put pressure on the Russian convoy, hitting another APC. One Russian tank, trying to avoid artillery strikes, took an alternate route but hit a landmine. The next group of Russian tanks advanced directly into a minefield. It didn't take long before the first explosion occurred. An APC stopped after the blast, but a nearby tank continued forward and triggered another mine, causing a chain explosion. Ukrainian forces then continued their attack with HIMARS strikes. One of the tank groups managed to reach the front line, with the lead tank equipped with mine-clearing capabilities leading the convoy. As Ukrainian forces maintained their attacks, they hit an APC in the convoy. The disabled APC blocked the path for other Russian vehicles. One of the Ukrainian defensive positions was located here. A Russian APC, not wanting to wait, tried to move forward, but hit a mine. The others followed suit, but were also destroyed by mines. Ukrainian forces seized the opportunity created by the stalled Russian convoy and intensified their attacks. Using artillery units, they struck the enemy forces. Following these attacks, panic spread within the Russian convoy, worsening their situation. In the chaos, Russian armored vehicles attempted to flee the area but hit more mines, causing further losses. Some vehicles, although not completely destroyed, were immobilized. Ukrainian forces immediately took advantage of this, finishing off the remaining Russian vehicles. As a result, Russian forces suffered heavy losses in both tanks and APCs. Ukrainian troops continued their offensive, systematically destroying Russian armored vehicles. Severely damaged Russian vehicles were also finished off by drone strikes. Elsewhere, another Russian convoy attempting an assault was detected. This convoy consisted of an SUV, a truck, an MTLB, and an APC. A Ukrainian drone operator initiated the attack, first targeting and destroying the SUV. Then another drone dropped a bomb on the MTLB. A third drone hit the Russian APC, causing its ammunition to ignite, leading to an intense explosion. The remaining vehicles, also heavily loaded with munitions, were struck next, leading to massive explosions. Another Russian vehicle continued to advance, unaware it was being tracked by a drone. The Ukrainian operator followed it closely and scored a direct hit. After the explosion, the Russian tank came to a halt, and Ukrainian forces deployed a second drone, which entered through an exposed section of the vehicle and delivered a precise strike. Russian vehicles that had separated from the main convoy moved erratically across the region. One of these, a Russian APC, became the next target for Ukrainian drone operators. The drone struck the vehicle head-on, causing it to stop before exploding in a powerful blast. One Russian vehicle became immobilized in the middle of a minefield. Ukrainian forces took advantage of this and struck it with a drone. A second attack followed, engulfing the vehicle in flames before it eventually exploded in a massive blast. Ukrainian forces successfully repelled the Russian convoys. Stationary Russian vehicles were picked off one by Ukrainian drone operators. Some vehicles were abandoned, likely due to earlier attacks, and were eliminated by Ukrainian forces. During reconnaissance operations, Ukrainian troops discovered a Russian missile storage facility. Reports confirmed that Russia had been using the site to store munitions for some time. Ukrainian forces waited for the perfect moment to strike. Once the location was confirmed, the HIMARS team prepared and launched 2 strikes, hitting the target with precision. The first missile hit its mark, and the second strike targeted the same spot, destroying all of Russia's stored ammunition. Ukrainian recon teams also spotted a Russian Buk air defense system. The vehicle was tracked for a while until it came to a stop. Once stationary, Ukrainian forces confirmed the coordinates and carried out a HIMARS strike, instantly destroying the Buk system. This short to medium-range missile system, inherited from the Soviet Union, had been deployed to suppress civilians and maintain air superiority in occupied regions. Despite its advanced design, the system had raised significant concerns regarding its impact on civilian safety. In response, Ukraine's military, supported by advanced Western weaponry and drones, neutralized this threat with growing success.